In this video, we are going to talk about JavaScript strict mode. So, JavaScript is a flexible and powerful programming language, but sometimes it can be too forgiving and allow us to write bad or unsafe code. And that's why JavaScript has a feature which is called Use Strict, which enables a stricter and more secure mode of execution for our code. And in this video, we will learn what this use strict is and how to declare it, what its syntax, why we should use it, and what are some of the things that are not allowed in strict mode. By the end of this video, you will be able to write better and more reliable JavaScript code with use strict. So let's get started. Now, this use strict directive is a special statement that tells the JavaScript engine to run the code in a stricter and more secure mode. This use strict directive is not a keyword or a command, but rather a string literal that has to be placed at the beginning of a script or a function. When this use strict directive is present, the JavaScript engine will throw more errors and warnings for common coding mistakes and bad practices, such as using undeclared variables, deleting properties that are not deletable, or using reserved words as identifiers. And this use strict directive also prevents some features that are considered unsafe. This use strict directive help us to write cleaner and more secure code and also improves the performance and capability of our code across different browsers and environments. Now to declare strict mode for our whole script, we have to place this directive as the first statement in the script before any other code. Now after writing this script at the start of our file, and after this, if we write let x is equal to 10, and if we hit save, this will work. But if we write y is equal to 20, and if we hit save, you can see we are getting error that y is not defined. But if we do this same thing without using this use strict directive, and if I hit save, you can see we don't have any error. So to avoid mistakes like this, it's better to write this use strict at the top of your JavaScript file. And now to declare strict mode for a specific function, we have to place this use strict directive as the first statement in the function. For example, if we have a function like this and we want to turn on this strict mode only for this function, we can write this use strict in the start of our function before writing any code. So if you want to turn on the strict mode for your whole script, you have to write this in the start of your JavaScript file. And if you want to turn on the strict mode for a specific function, you can write this inside of your function before writing any code. Now, this use strict directive has to be a string literal enclosed in single or double quotes. It has to be exactly the same as use strict with no extra spaces or characters. It is case sensitive, so use strict with capital U and capital S or use strict with uppercase letter will not work, and it also has to end with this semicolon. Now, why we need to use this strict mode? Strict mode is beneficial for several reasons. First, it helps us to avoid common coding errors and bugs such as using undeclared variables, assigning values to read-only properties, or using octal literals. Strict mode will throw errors or warnings for these mistakes, which makes it easier to debug and fix our code. Second, it helps us to write more secure code by preventing some features that could compromise the security or privacy of our data. Strict mode will disable or restrict this feature, which makes our code more robust and less vulnerable to attacks. Third, it helps us to write more modern and future proof code by avoiding some features that are deprecated or reserved for future use, such as the arguments dot color property, the yield keyword, or the let keyword. Strict mode will either throw errors or ignore these features, which makes our code more compatible and consistent across different browsers and environments. And now we are going to discuss few things that are not allowed in strict mode. Like in strict mode, we have to declare all our variables with the var, let, or const keyword. Otherwise, we will get a reference error. For example, here we declared a variable which is fine, but here we did not declare this variable with let, var, or const keyword. So that is why we are getting this reference error that y is not defined. Now another thing which is not allowed in strict mode is using reserved words as identifiers. So in strict mode, we can't use certain words that are reserved for future use or have special meaning in JavaScript, such as implements, interface, private, public, static, yield, let, and const as variable names, function names, or parameter names. Otherwise, we will get syntax error. For example, if we change this variable name to implements and now if I hit save, you can see we have syntax error, which is unexpected strict mode reserved word. And similarly, if we use a word like private for our variable and now if I hit save, you can see we are getting the same error. So these are the words that we can't use as a variable name. So in this video, we learned what use strict is, how to declare it, what set syntax, why we should use it, and what are some of the things that are not allowed in strict mode. We saw that use strict enables a stricter and more secure mode of execution for our JavaScript code, which help us to avoid common errors and bugs, and we can write more secure and reliable code. So I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to join this web development journey with us. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Keep coding, keep creating, and I will see you in the next video.